Win the incredible Steigercraft 21DB Miami, powered by a Yamaha 200, in the ultimate season-long multiple-species subscriber-only fishing competition, the Fisherman's 2017 Dream Boat Fishing Challenge. Go to thefisherman.com and enter today. The fishing news is brought to you by Okuma.
Hey there, Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman magazine with this week's web video, Fishing Forecast for New England. Well, depending on where you live, Hurricane Jose had much differing effects on the New England coast. For example, Narragansett, Rhode Island saw some big waves starting off on Sunday, where 5 people got washed off the east wall and had to be rescued. The waves continued right on through the week, and last check, there was still some huge surf in Rhode Island to be dealt with. But then inside Long Island Sound, we didn't really see too much in the way of weather until really late Tuesday, and even at that, it was just some wind. Some of the spots that I checked out, there was hardly any surf to really, so to speak. So luckily it took a bit of an easterly turn and we avoided any sort of a direct hit. But as I shoot this week's video, it's still spinning off the coast of the Northeast and wreaking havoc on the offshore fishing grounds. And it pretty much kept me back here at home today to shoot the video to try to stay out of the wind, as that really seems to be the biggest thing that we are still dealing with. And while I love fishing in big weather and the days leading up to, as well as following a hurricane, have provided some epic fishing for me in the surf over the years, I always get more than a little bit nervous when I see those first track predictions lining up with the New England states. But really, aside from some coastal erosion, which we see pretty regularly these days with coastal storms, we seem to have dodged the brunt of Jose's wrath. All right, well, moving on now into the fishing reports. Going to start off, as always, in Connecticut, where early in the week there was a pretty good mix of action inside Long Island Sound, from bottom fish to bluefish to bass being caught. Unfortunately, though, fluke season closes in Connecticut waters, as well as New York waters, on Thursday, September 21st. So keep this in mind as you head out after the water clears up from Jose. And in some pre-storm fishing success, angler Mark Drummy went out on Monday hunting for false albacore in Long Island Sound. As going through the weekend, they were reported to be moving further and further into the Sound, with some pretty decent catches being made. And Mark was rewarded with an 11.5-pound pending Connecticut state record Atlantic Bonita. If you want to get the details on this catch, be sure to check out thefisherman.com for all the story. Moving on into Rhode Island, before the big heave that rolled into roady waters over the weekend, bottom fishing was still pretty good for sea bass, fluke, and cod. It might take a little bit of a hit until the waters come back to normal, but in the meantime, there's likely to be some really good striper catches being made in the protected backwater spots along the Rhode Island coast. Also, keep in mind that black sea bass will be closed in Rhode Island waters beginning September 22nd, running through October 22nd. Starting September 21st until October 22nd. This is the time of the year when you really need to be cautious of where you are fishing, with different states having different open seasons on blackfish, sea bass, and fluke right now. So remember that ignorance is not an excuse when it comes to these issues, and you can always check the printed Fisherman magazine for the current regulations, as well as all of the regulations posted at thefisherman.com. And then lastly, up in Massachusetts, Captain Jason and Little Sister charters have been doing quite well on the blackfish outside the Westport River. Some trips he finds a lot of fish, others just some big ones, and a couple have found the mother lode with both large fish as well as quantity to be had. This bite should really only continue to keep on getting better as the fall progresses and those inshore waters cool, so get in on the bite before it passes you by. All right, well, there you have it. I am Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman magazine, wishing you tight lines if you head out onto the water this weekend.
The fishing news is brought to you by Okuma. Win the incredible Steigercraft 21DB Miami, powered by a Yamaha 200, in the ultimate season-long multiple-species subscriber-only fishing competition, the Fisherman's 2017 Dream Boat Fishing Challenge. Go to thefisherman.com and enter today.